But Sir Robert then went on to win the next election quite convincingly. How does Malcolm Turnbull and the current gang emulate that record?
Well, I think you've got to. I thought you might ask this question. I think you've got to put a bit of a constraint on the comparison. In 1961, Menzies had been in power for 12 years. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that he had a majority of one after the election of a Speaker against an opposition totally composed of Labor Party people. So the effective, I mean, in my view, when it comes to core issues of confidence and being able to deliver supply, the current government's majority, in my view, is greater than just one. Now, what can any government learn from those years, 61 to 63? The great asset of that period of time, and I remember it very vividly, is that the coalition was superbly disciplined behind an understandable, well-articulated agenda. It wasn't, of course, the 63 election memorably, and it took place against the terribly sad event of the assassination of President Kennedy. It occurred 1 week after. It was also the election at which the current Prime Minister's father-in-law, Tom Hughes, was elected to federal parliament as the member for Parkes. There were two things that I remember from that campaign that were dominant. One of them was state aid, where Menzies had the big breakthrough on science blocks. And the other was, of course, the faceless men. I think about the most telling political photograph in my memory of Australian politics was that one of Whitlam and Colville standing out under the lamplight of the Kingston Hotel, was it? The Kingston Hotel in Canberra, waiting to hear what the federal executive had decided to be the policy of the Australian Labor Party, would you believe, about the American communication station Reed, U-Butte spy tracking facility at North West Cape, and was out of that was coined famously, I think, through the courtesy of Alan Reid, probably the greatest political journalist this country's had, the faceless men, and Menzies grabbed that with unrelieved Scottish glee and used it very, very effectively. That's history, but relating it to current circumstances, the message from that period was that if you're disciplined and you are united behind a program, you'll survive. There's no reason why the current government can't survive 3 years. I mean, of course the Labor Party, that's their job, they'll say they can't. And, we'll have experts. I think there was somebody in the Labor Party on a program last weekend or the weekend before, I've forgotten his name, although it's been in the papers very recently, was saying that it wouldn't last, but all I can say is say it again, Sam, say it again.